All right, guys, we are going to start right at noon today. I'm so excited for our call today, and I don't want to wait another minute. We have some really fun things today because we have amazing women that are going to be sharing their different stories. And my prayer and Brooke's prayer for everyone is that something that you hear today stirs something within you to do something different or better or increase your skill or whatever it is for you to lean in to what you're already doing and get an even better result. So I want to start today by talking to you about the Super Bowl, right? So yesterday you were either watch the Super Bowl just to have the snacks or the commercials, or maybe you really love football and you follow football, and so that's why possibly you were watching it. I found that there's a puppy bowl, and it's been going on for like 12 years. Well, finally somebody told me about it yesterday. It was my sister-in-law. She's like, oh, we're watching the puppy bowl. So I made Sean turn it on and we watched the puppy bowl, and now I have a new tradition for the Super Bowl, and it's the puppy bowl. So if you don't know about it yet, they play it on Animal Planet right before, and it's all about helping dogs with special needs get adopted out right before the Super Bowl starts. And it's so cute. They tell all the special interest stories and about the dogs and fundraise money and everything. So really, really fun. To see all the different dogs and hear their stories and everything. And of course I was like, we need that dog. We need that dog. Let's adopt that dog. And Sean's like, we have a dog. We don't need any more dogs. But I was ready to get like 10 new puppies yesterday. Sean, he needs to come around to the idea. So I'm going to get him ready for next year's puppy bowl for sure. Okay. So as I was watching the Super Bowl though, last night when it was over, Sean and I were just sitting on the couch talking, and I look at Sean and I was like, it's pretty amazing to play in the Super Bowl. You know, you have all these players that have worked their whole lives, you know, playing pee-wee football when they were little, and then playing high school football, or, you know, whatever they were playing, intramural, whatever, to get good at what they do, and then playing in college and getting drafted into the NFL, and then being able to actually play and not just sit on the bench. Like these players who have literally spent their entire lives, devoted everything to football, and then getting the chance to play in the Super Bowl, right? And last night as we were sitting there, I was like, oh, those players that lost, like, I hope they're holding their heads high. Like, that's what I was thinking about last night, as I kept thinking, I hope that they're holding their heads high, because I could see how, you know, you work so hard to win, and then to walk away without winning, how devastating that can be, right? Because it's your dream to win. But what I started thinking about is how many times we go after a goal and we don't win, we don't achieve the goal. And sometimes we miss the opportunity to see how much we've really achieved the goal even without winning, right? And I was all of a sudden I was like, oh, this goes perfect with the team call for tomorrow. It's totally what we do. It's everything that we do, right? And there's so many times where we think we've pushed for something, we've tried really hard to achieve something, and we miss it, whether it's a rank or a prize that we're working for or whatever. And in the process of trying to achieve it, not making it is sometimes where we meet the goal we never knew we had, right? And I can think of times in my business where I was trying to meet a specific goal by a certain time and I missed it. But in pursuit of that goal, in that specific time period, it's where I brought in a new worker that helped me meet that goal 6 months later, 12 months later, a year later. And it's not always with that person, it's the skill and the experience that I gained through that person that I brought in and failed with. And then 2 years later, what I learned from that specific experience is what taught me to bring in that next person that took my team to that next level. And so as you listen to the different speakers today, what I want you to think about in your mind is to be really open-minded and to write somewhere. And you guys hear me say this all the time, everything is rigged in your favor. Everything is rigged in your favor. And when things are going slow and they aren't going the way you think they should be going, and you're questioning, what am I even doing? Is this ever going to happen for me? I want you to tell yourself, but everything is rigged in my favor, and I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I know it's rigged in my favor. And those players last night that walked away not winning the Super Bowl, I hope that they woke up this morning and recognized that everything is rigged in their favor. And sometimes you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And there are so many times where I hate losing. I hate it. But it's when we are in that place of humility where we have lost that sometimes we know how we have to hit the gym, so to speak, harder the next year to be more ready for the next time we approach that goal, that game, that whatever, right? And so who better to lead this call off today than Tiffany Weaver? I'm going to let her tell you her story, but she is someone who knows a lot about perseverance and having timing be the thing that brings all of your hard work and persistence to bring the W. in true nature of our Super Bowl theory here, our Super Bowl theme, I mean. So Tiffany, if you will introduce yourself, tell people how long you've been with Plexus, a little bit about your journey, and then after you speak, I'll share some thoughts as well. But Tiffany will have you lead us off, and then we have two other amazing women who are going to share with us today. So buckle up, grab a pen and a paper. You're going to want to take some notes on your insights and the things that are placed on your heart today. Tiffany, hi.
I'm so excited to be on here. Like, freaking out. When Brooke asked me, I was like, yes, absolutely yes. Just tell me when and where. Because this is just a dream to get to speak with you guys. This just fills my cup. This is what I love, because I don't have that winning dream story. And so if you know much about me, I am not very self-preserving. I will tell my whole story because that's what I think people need to hear, because for so long, all I saw was like, these women just decided to be diamond and they just got there and it was just amazing and they didn't struggle to get there, right? When you are down looking up, that's all you see. And so that's not my story. So 2.5 years ago, I joined with Plexus, zero interest in the business. I had a master's degree in social work. I was working as a mental health therapist. I kind of poo-pooed on the business. I thought it was a joke, but I felt like crap. And so I was desperate enough to try the products, and we were broke. And so I was like, okay, I'll share with some people. I can't afford the products, right? That's how many of us start, right? Okay. So I shared with a few people. I went silver, and I told my husband, I'm like, I made money. Like, I made money. And I saw these women living this life of freedom. And they were making more money at home in their pajamas. And I was dragging myself out of bed every morning. And I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, this is crazy. And so my husband looked at the business and he was like, this is incredible. He has a business degree. That's not my thing. And he's like, this is incredible. This model is incredible. You should really pursue this. And so I did, and I kind of fell in love with the business. I went senior silver in October of that year. So I joined in June. I went senior silver in October and gold the following March. And I literally remember sitting in bed next to my husband when I hit gold, and I cried. I literally cried because I was like, I can do this. Like, they said, if you make it to gold, you can make it to diamond. I did this. Like, this is incredible. And so that year we committed to go to convention. I sat at convention and I watched the women go across that stage with their special lanyards. Like, isn't that funny, the stuff that stands out? I was like, they have special lanyards. This is amazing. Forget all the other perks, right? I was like, they have a lanyard. But I was like, I want this. I want this so badly. And so I committed that was the year I was going to go to Leaders Retreat. So I came back from convention. I was on fire. I am going to Leaders Retreat, right? worked my butt off. Some things happened in our life during that time. My dad got really sick. We ended up abruptly selling our home, moving in with my husband and our 2 kids, in with my mom and dad to help take care of my dad. But I was still determined. I was still determined. And I did not earn Leaders Retreat. I did not earn it. I worked so hard. And I was like, I don't understand, because all these other women, they said that they claimed it and they proclaimed it and they put it on their wall and they earned it. And I did all of those things and I didn't earn it. And it was really hard for me. And it started this kind of like vicious cycle where I ended up losing my gold rank. I wasn't maintaining. And my mindset was in the toilet. It was horrible. And I was like, I can't do this. Why am I here? I'm not going to be the girls with the cute lanyards on stage. Like, I felt like such an imposter. How can I share about this business when I can't even maintain a gold rank? How could I ever get to diamond if I can't even maintain a gold rank? How can I ever get to diamond if I can't even earn Leaders Retreat? Like, I all but begged my team to help me get there. It just wasn't happening. And so that December, if you've ever heard my story, you guys know my husband is a very special person. He always shoots me straight and he calls me out on my BS. And so that December, he said, look, your attitude sucks. You've got to do something, because you're just going to keep spinning your wheels. Like, you either need to get in or out, because your attitude just sucks about the business now. And so we were on a 6-hour car ride together. So I was forced to still be in the car with him, listening to him tell me this. And it was exactly what I needed to hear, because he was right. He was right. I had let myself get so hung up in the results and in the trip and in the goal that I did not reach, just like Emily said. I let not reaching my goal completely define me. Completely. It defined everything for me. And it's so cool to be on this call with Emily, because she may or may not even know this part of my story. In January, I went to Nashville to Super Saturday. So this would have been in 2020. And that was the event that I drug myself to with another friend, another teammate. It was like tornadoes all the way there. I live 4 hours from Nashville. It was, yeah, I met Cassie there at Super Saturday. It was horrible. The weather was awful. We stopped to get out at a rest area. I had done my hair all cute. I looked all cute. We stopped, got out at a rest area. It had stopped raining. By the time we got back to the car, I was drenched. Like, my bra was wet. I was so drenched. And I was like, okay, God, is this a sign that this is just not meant for me? But I drug myself there. And it changed everything for me, because there was a moment for me with Emily and Christy talking that I realized that these 2 successful women were different. They were different. And that was so beautiful to me, because then I realized there is no diamond mold. There is no mold for diamond. These women are all so different. They're extroverted, introverted, outgoing. Some have their own cooking classes. Some can't cook to save their life and they have to hire people to do it. Some, there's just that some come from small towns. Some, I mean, they're so different. And I had this moment where I finally said, dang it, why not me? Why not me? Because I had given myself 4 million reasons why it would never be me. And I just remembered realizing, why not me? Why not me? Why can't I get to diamond one day? And the reality is, I was waiting for the results to feel confident. I was waiting for my points to reflect it. And then I was going to be excited. When I got to Emerald, I was going to be excited. When I got that trip, I was going to be excited. I was going to be confident in it. And I realized you can't do that. You can't wait for the results to feel excited and to feel confident in what you have. I had to be confident in what I knew was going to happen, because I was going to get to diamond. It was just a matter of when, but my confidence had to match that now. Not when my points were great, not when I earned the trip, not when I had the pictures of me on stage that I could be like, ha, see, I made it. I had to feel like I had already made it then and there before I could ever get there. And so I re-ranked gold in March of 2020. And then in April, I went senior gold, ruby, and senior ruby. And then in May, I went emerald. And then in June, I went sapphire and diamond. insane. Insane. I feel like I was like still recovering from needing to rest from all of that. But so many people asked me, what script did you use? What post did you use? What did you do? And friends, let me tell you, if there was a magic script or a magic post, Emily and Brooke would have already given it to you. You would already have it, and you would all be diamond, and that would be it. But that's not it. The magic is not in the post or in the script. It's in you. It's your confidence level. It's how you present things to people. I can remember, like I told you guys, I worked in social work and in mental health, and we would have to testify in court often. And I would watch these women get up there and testify. And if they were like, I don't know, and they were like super scared, the attorneys would eat them alive. They would question them to the point that they didn't even know their name by the time they were done with them. And I remembered realizing as a student, I was like, I don't care what I say on that stand. I'm just going to be really stinking confident. I'm just going to say it with such confidence. And it worked every single time. They did not question me like they did other people, because they felt like, okay, she knows her stuff. And in reality, the girls that were sitting up there that weren't very confident, they weren't not confident in their notes. They poured over their notes. They weren't confident in themselves, but it read as though they weren't confident in what they were testifying in. And it's the same thing with what we do in Plexus. You know your stuff. You know your products. You know this business. You know those things. So I could give you a script, right, of those things, what to say, what to post. But if you don't say it in a way that brings confidence to that person that you're talking to, and that confidence that you know exactly what you're doing and you can help them, then it reads to them as though like, gosh, I don't know, she's not very confident in this. So how can I be confident in my decision? How can I be confident to start my business if she's not even very confident in what she's doing? And so you breed that onto other people. And so I had to learn, and that's exactly what I did. That was the big shift. There was no magic post. There was no magic script. I got tired of myself. I got tired of not being confident. I was just so dang tired that I was like, I am going to show up every single day confident and own this, because I was expecting business builders to come to me, and I wasn't even very confident about the business. Duh, no wonder they weren't coming to me. I wasn't very excited. I wasn't very bold. I wasn't saying, hey, here's where I'm going, and I want you to come with me. I was just spinning in circles saying, I'm not really sure where I'm going. And so when I started being super confident in the business and in myself, I started having women say, okay, I don't know where you're going, but I want to go there too. I want to hop along and I want to be in for this. So a lot of the business builders I had were new to me because they were watching, like, there's a shift. There's a shift. There's something different that she's doing. And I want to do it too. I want to go there because she's excited. And the results didn't change. My points didn't even really change at first when I started doing that. I didn't earn a trip. I didn't earn anything. I just acted like I'd earned it. I acted like I'd earned all the things. Like I was already in Hawaii because it was just a matter of time. And so that's my biggest thing to share for you. Don't make those times when you don't win the game determine where you're going to go and what your future is going to hold for you, because you will limit yourself unbelievably. I mean, the potential in this group of women is insane. And man, maybe there's a man on here. I don't want to not include somebody, but the potential is insane. You just can't sit on it. You just can't sit on it. So that is my story in a nutshell. I know that that's a lot. Emily, did you have other questions for me?
Tiffany, I just love hearing your story. And I actually did know that you were there at Super Saturday because, Cassie Freihoff, who's under Hannah, it's her sister, she was at that Super Saturday. And that was a really hard Super Saturday for us to travel to The weather was crazy, like the opposition that it took to get there that day. And the odds of Christy and I being paired together are so slim because you're not typically paired with your teammates. They like to pair you with other diamonds from everywhere. So it's really rare to ever stand on stage with someone from your team and train with them. So the fact that we were there together, I had literally flown straight from Mexico to Super Saturday. Like I was supposed to be there the day before for practice, and I had to fly from Cabo through Mexico City to Tijuana, do an event in Tijuana, and then at 11 o'clock at night, we drove across the border so I could stay in San Diego for 3 hours at this like really sort of like interesting motel that I could just, I mean, I stayed there for like 3 hours. And then I woke up and flew straight to Nashville, showed up at the hotel, and we did one quick run through, and then the next day was Super Saturday. And it was just like so many things had to go right for all of that to happen. I'm pretty sure that Amy Ritchie, she does all the travel for Super Saturday and everything. They were all like nail biting, like just trusting me that I was going to get myself to Nashville on time, because the weather, it's not Super Saturday if weather delays don't happen. Like it's just always why they fly you in 2 days before, because they know that there's a chance of you missing it altogether, because the weather is just always horrendous in January, no matter where you're going, right? So I remember just this overwhelming feeling that something amazing was going to happen in that room that day. And I remember just looking at Christy before we went on, and we said a prayer before we went on, and we were just like, okay, just show up as Emily and Christy. Like, don't show up as Plexus Diamonds, like show up as Emily and Christy. And I wish that we could have had that session recorded, because to me, to date, it's still one of the most powerful things I've ever experienced in my career. Standing on that stage, sharing things that I did not want to share, that I'd never planned on sharing, watching Christy. I'll never forget her just stomping her feet on the stage, just pleading with people to stop holding back and to just go freaking do it. And the stories that have come out of that Super Saturday, exactly a year ago, almost to the date. It was in January of 2020, right before everything happened, right? So many people had amazing experiences come from that. And so this morning when Cassie was like, Tiffany was there that day, like I start sobbing. I'm like, and then you're telling the story and I'm sobbing here on mute because, and Sean's sitting here and he's like, who is that? I'm like, it's Tiffany Weaver. So I'm just so grateful that you told that whole backstory and that everyone here got to feel that and hear that. And to be able to see that come full circle is just such a beautiful gift. So I'm just so grateful for your vulnerability, and also for the fact that you came and you said, like, there's no mold, because there is nothing more true than that. And I remember being so fixated on having to fit a mold, right? And it was literally the death of me, you guys, because I felt like I had to look a certain way. I started saying y'all, like I'm not Southern. I am not. I'm born and raised in Northern California in a surfer town. My words are, that's rad, awesome, cool. Like, hey guys, that is how I talk. And there was like 2 years in Plexus where I didn't even recognize myself because I was trying to fit a mold. And so I hope that as you picture yourself as Diamond, you picture the special, amazing, unique gifts that you have to bring this company. That you're not coming to Diamond to fit in with anyone or anything, but you are coming to stand alone, surrounded by many amazing men and women who, we need your differences. We need your individuality. We need your uniqueness. You make the company better when you show up as you and you set your own mold. So those are my favorite things. The only other thing I was going to add, and you pretty much already fix this up, because I know still what people are going to say is, okay, no, she said there's no magic message, but really, what did she say and what did she do? And Tiffany's going to get all these messages on her social media and everyone's going to inundate her, and she's not going to respond because she has boundaries and things that she has to do for her family. So I'm going to respond for her right now and tell you what she did was she got 2 to 3 people to silver, level 1s. And then those people got 2 to 3 people to silver. And then they started having like 6 to 8 people all trying to get to senior silver at the same time. And then the next month, those girls, they went for gold. And the way they went for gold is they got a couple girls silver on their team, 2 to 3 each. And I want you to really catch on to this idea of the way you grow a team to your next rank is you yourself get 2 to 3 people to silver in the next 30 days. And then in the 30 days after that, you yourself help them get to senior silver. And you do that by helping them get someone to silver. And then the next thing you do is you help them get to gold. And as you do this on your team every 30 to 60 days, and you just repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, and you do that, you are going to see your points go forward by 100 and 200 and 300. And all of a sudden, you're going to say, somebody's going senior gold on my team this month. And I think I'm going to be Ruby soon. Like, I'm going to be Ruby this month, or I'm going to be Ruby next month, right? And it's that process. People say, I don't know what I did to get here. Yes, you do. You know what you did. You made a first post. So you need to ask others to make a first post. Then if it's a total flop, which a lot of times it is, then you do a Facebook Live. And if their post is a flop, you get them to do a Facebook Live. But I don't know how to do a Facebook Live. Yes, you do. You write down a list of 5 or 6 things that you used to feel before Plexus. And on the other side, you write 5 or 6 things that you feel now. And then when you go live, you say, so crazy thing what plant-based supplements can do. Before I started taking them, I felt, and you read off the before list, just with your list out. So you don't get scared, or if you get scared, you just read it off. That's the nice thing about reading. As a reading teacher, I used to be, it's so easy. You do it without thinking about it once you know how to read. That's why you write it down before you go live. So you just read it off. I used to feel da, 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 da. Now I've been using these products for X amount of months, times, weeks, days, and now I feel like this, read it off. So if you have any questions, or you feel this way, or you know someone that might feel this way, please leave a comment, send a message, hit the share button. I'm so nervous. I'm going to stop now. Okay, bye. End. You literally just teach them how to do a live, and you challenge them to do it. And then you say, and if anybody says anything on your live, which they might, or they might message you, then you start a 3-way chat with you, me, and them. And I'll do all the talking for you. So you don't have to worry about it. We can learn together. And then you just keep doing that with everyone over and over and over again. That's the secret. That's all. That's all Tiffany did. That's all everyone on her team did. That's all you need to do. And you say, but Emily, but Tiffany, but Brooke, I'm doing those things and it's not producing anyone. I know, me too. Until one day it will work for someone and you'll be like, oh, it worked. It works. What they said worked. Maybe I should keep doing it. You should. Just keep going. You don't know the how. You don't know the when, but you know you're going to make it happen. It's the confidence that Tiffany's talking about here. So thank you, Tiffany, so much. If you have to go, we will not be offended, but if you want to stay and listen and you have time for that, we have 2 amazing women who are going to share where they are at with this part of their journey. And the first one that I'm going to have go is Angie McGrew. Angie is someone that joined our team in the last 6 months, I believe. It was like right around June-ish, 7 months. So like March or April?
May.
Okay. I feel like she's been here forever. I feel like you've been here forever, Angie. And she ranked senior gold and has an amazing team. And she works full-time for Walmart at the executive level and has 2 kids that she homeschools. And Brooks, her son, has Down syndrome, and he has tons of needs and things that take her time and love and energy. And she has truly inspired me this year about how seriously she takes this job and how seriously she puts her head down and works. And her mindset is amazing. Like I message Angie, like at least 3 times a week. Angie, how are you so amazing? Like, how is your mindset so good right now? And she's like, I mean, of course it would be good because this is what I think. This is like, her thoughts are just on point. And even when she has a bad day, she's like, and you know what? Like, I'm sure it's all going to work out. And, it's fine because we've got really great people doing really great things. And, our time is coming. And so I asked her to share a little bit about the goal that she set for herself last month and the way she chose to look at it and where she's going this month. So Angie, take it away.
Awesome. So excited to be here. Thank you, Emily, so much. Yeah, this has been a fun journey. I think I'm going into my eighth month with Plexus and hit senior gold in November. I had Emily's voice at the end of November was like, all you have to do is hold rank. All you have to do is hold rank in December. Just hold rank in December. And I didn't. I missed it actually by 5 points. One person. I slid back just a smidge. It was the first time that I had slid back. But what I've been learning from Emily and all the amazing great leaders on our team is that we really have to work on mindset and that thought work. And the way that you talk to yourself is so, so, so important. And so I've just been picking up on that. Honestly, like it wasn't something I don't think I maybe came into the business with it a little bit. But really I've just been kind of watching what Shae and Leah and all the people on the team, Hannah and Cassie and Emily, just like I've just been learning and soaking up so many things about thought work and mind work. And so my goal for January was to hit Ruby. And so that's 500 points. And again, I did not meet my goal. So give me a 1 in the comments if you've ever not met a goal. Has that happened to you before? It's totally happened to me before. Yes. So I come from 5 generations of teachers and 3 generations of coaches. So winning and coaching and like winning is just like in my blood. It's what I do. I'm very, 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 very competitive. Give me a goal, give me a carrot, give me something to reach for, and I'm totally on it. But even watching my dad take his girls basketball team to state championship and winning 4 times. It's a total team effort for one. It's not just him, right? But even then, even winning 4 state championships, he didn't win them all, right? Like he didn't win. There was 1 year that they were undefeated, but all the other years, like he didn't win them all. And so you can't win every goal or meet every goal. Like you just have to work on growing. And so I was tracking the whole month long, I was tracking like, okay, this is where I should be. Okay, this is where I am. And each day as we got closer to the end of the month, I'm like, oh, this gap is just like, it's not closing as fast as I thought the gap would close. And so I could just see it. And I'm like, that 500 goal of Ruby was just slipping a little further away, a little further away. And so I just decided like a week left to go. Everybody was checking in on me. How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm like, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. Like, it's just like, it sucks, but like, I just don't think we're going to do it this month. And they're like, you can do it. You can do it. I have the best cheerleaders on my team. Like my team's so amazing. And I'm just like, yeah, I believe you, like, but I feel like I need a more realistic goal because I feel like I just can't see it that far. So a week out, I decided, you know what, a really good goal to end the month in is like refocus, repurpose. I'm not going to quit, right? I'm not going to quit like a week to go, like, and just stop working. Like that would be dumb because I'm just going to be that much further the next month, right? So I just readjusted my goal and I decided, okay, my new goal is 400 points. Like we were at, I think we were just right under 300. And I said, okay, my new goal is 400. Like let's add 100 points in 1 week. Like that'll be a really good push goal. Still not going to be Ruby, but like, that's a great push goal. And so we pushed really hard. We did incredible power hours, amazing leaders on our team that helped just bring everybody together. And we were just heads down, blinders on, working. And at 11 p.m. Central Time, which is, midnight for the end of the month, we came down and we didn't even meet our 400 goal. We ended with 369 points. So I was 31 points shy of my adjusted goal, and I was 131 points shy of Ruby. And I like took a deep breath and I was like, okay, like it didn't happen. Like we didn't meet Ruby. I didn't even reach my 400 goal, but you know what did happen? And I looked down, and because I'm a math girl and I love spreadsheets and all the things and tracking and analyzing, I looked down and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but I looked down and we had grown our team points for the month up from December. We had grown by 124 points. And that was huge. We had never grown by 124 points. Guys, I keep a tracker at the front in my planner of like each month since I've joined and like what the stats were for each month. I keep it on a fancy spreadsheet too, but I keep it in my planner so I can see it regularly. And we had never grown by that much. So 124 points was a lot, and it needed to be celebrated. Like it was a big deal. And then I looked at ambassadors. That's another thing that I track. Like how many ambassadors did we grow as a team month over the last month, right? And for that month, we had grown, in January, we grew 28 points, or 28 people rather, 28 people. And our highest ever was December, and we had grown by 19 people in December. And so we added 10 more people. Like that was huge. Or no, I can't do math, 9. Anyways, but it was still huge, like something to be proud of for sure. And then I looked at personal enrollments, which is something I also track. And personal enrollments was not where I wanted it to be. My goal to maximize the success sprints was to hit 9 points. Or 9, gosh, I cannot talk today, 9 personal enrollments. And I had only hit 6. And even though I knew that my personal enrollments were lower, I made it a point to pour into my team last month, the last 2 months, actually 3 months, November, December, and January. I really focused on, I'm going to focus, sorry if you hear my daughter knocking on the door, she's like, knock, knock, mommy, was to really pour into them and to focus on them. And so even though I didn't hit my personal goal and I didn't hit our team goal, like that was okay. There was still so much to be celebrated. Real quick, I just want to run through the personal development that we saw on our team last month was insane. So there was so much to be proud of and so much to be celebrated. So we had all of our evening power hours, which we were like just heads down focusing as much as we could. We had Jen who ranked gold, and not only did she rank gold, but she blew past it and ended the month with 120 points. So that was incredible. So fun to see. We had Nicole who didn't even really begin working the business until the second week in January. And she came in and she decided she was going to try to get to senior silver by the end of January. And she dove in and cold messaged 67 people. Have you ever messaged 67 people in 2 weeks? I can't say I messaged 67 people in 2 weeks. Like it was a lot. It was a ton, right? And even though her harvest didn't come by the end of the month, we know it's coming, right? What we've learned is that harvest is inevitable. It's going to come. The fruits of her labor will happen. Letty, she made a goal. She partnered with our mom and they divided up and said like, okay, our goal is to get you 4 more. Okay, I'm going to get 2 and you get 2, go, right? And so they went and they grew. And even though they didn't quite get there, they learned a ton in the process. They grew a ton in the month, and they're already hitting the ground running this month. Maria, who had kind of like, she was sharing, but not like on social media. She got a huge compliment from the checker at the grocery store who told her, she like looked her up and down and was like, girl, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm doing plexus. And she's from Texas and has her cute little Southern drawl. And she got online and hopped on and did a live to talk about how the grocery store lady was complimenting her on her products. And then suddenly she had 4 new people come out of nowhere that were interested, that we're in conversations with, right? So all of these things are things to be celebrated. Each one of my builders had something big that happened this month, and it was worth celebrating. And we hopped on and I threw gold star confetti at the camera to celebrate Jen's rank up. And then we did it again for Cassie, and I am still finding glitter literally all over the house, but it was fun, right? Like you have to celebrate the wins. You have to celebrate your people. It's not just about me and my goal. It's about what my team accomplished. And so I think at the end of the day, like you have to push hard. You have to set realistic goals. And if you're short, set a new goal. Like nothing says that has to be your goal to the end of the month, right? Change course, change direction, pivot a little bit and keep going, just keep going. We went into this month and we're 8 days into the month, right? It's February 8th. And within the first 8 days, we've already added 5 people to our team. I don't think we've ever had 5 people added this early on in the month. Like, it just hasn't happened before. And so we just we took a day breather and we were like, okay, heads down, let's reset our February goals. And then we continue on like the month never ended. And we are doing great and exciting things. And it's just amazing, right? Like, we're winning our own race. We're not comparing ourselves to others. We've got our blinders on, we're focused, and just you do you. And if you don't miss your goals, so what? Like, you still have stuff to celebrate. You're still growing. And it's so fun. It's so fun. I love this business. I love being here. That's really it. Anything else you wanted me to share?
I just love you, Angie. You're so inspiring. And you guys, no matter what you have going on in your life, Angie is a true testament that you can make time for the things that are important to you. And, people tell us that our whole lives, right? But it's another thing to actually give of yourself in the very few minutes that you have. And it's made me love Angie even more because I watch her so passionate to change her life and the lives of others. Angie is doing this so that she can be a full-time stay-at-home mom. That is what pushes her. If you're wondering where is the drive coming from? It's because she's tapped into her heart and she's seen, no, I want something better for my life, for my family. And that driving force, that passion within her is what keeps her going. And so I want to challenge you, if you don't know what that is yet, I want to challenge you to do some soul seeking today and really sit with yourself and say, why would I go after this with such passion and force? What would it be in my life? What freedom would I receive if I showed up in that same way, right? She's working 60 hours a week right now, Angie, 60 to 80, even on some days. Literally, I will wake up in the morning and Angie will be like, I was on a call with the Philippines at 3 a.m. and I figured that I would just write some messages and then send them when I wake up. So I'm going to do that right when I wake up. Hold me accountable. There is no excuse when your goals are in alignment with your passion, right? And if you don't have that, don't feel badly about it, right? But that's why I'm saying seek your passion, seek the freedom that it can bring you, and then decide if this is something worth going after. It's obvious that Angie and Jen and Nicole on her team, they've all decided this is worth going after, and they're going to start attracting other people who know it's worth going after too. So I'm so excited to watch you, Angie, and your team continue to rank up and just barrel forward. I can't wait to see where you're going to be 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. I know we're just going to continue to be inspired by you and taught by you. And I'm so grateful that you have made time for us today to inspire us and uplift us and tell us what we need to be doing. So thank you so much, Angie. Okay, our final speaker today is Senior Ruby, Shae Hansen. And Shae we were doing a little work together this week. And I think it was on the 4th. Was it on the 4th, Shae? So it was Thursday, the 4th. And at one point while we were working, Shae said to me, oh my gosh, Emily, I'm at 110 points today. And I was like, isn't that so awesome? You're already gold on the 4th of the month. And she goes, no, last year at this time, that's where my points were at the end of the month. And I had lost all hope that I would ever re-rank senior gold. And so I'm going to let her share that story with you, because obviously now, Shae is 1,000 point senior ruby, you guys. Shae is going to be emerald. Look what a year can do. Shae, walk us through the whole thing and your realization and everything.
Gosh, well, you're gonna make me cry already. No. So yeah, 2019 was, as Angie's done, and I'm sure so many of you have done, I've gone back and like blocked my points, like where are they going, you know, from month to month and everything. And I had originally ranked senior gold in September of 2018. But after that, like I lost rank and was kind of just hovering about like, you know, like kind of mid gold range for most of 2019. But 2019 was kind of a struggle for my business. I couldn't get anybody to jump on board with me. I was losing people right and left. It felt like I was building a house and trying to move and all that stuff. And so even like the last 4 months of 2019, I really had to scale back working my business, which was hard for me to do because I'm like, I don't know, you know, like I don't want to stop working, but I did have to like focus things on my house and stuff. So then come January 2020, and actually it was December 2019, my points were the lowest they had been ever since ranking gold. You know, like I was barely holding gold rank, and I'm like, I can't let myself lose a gold rank. I can't lose 2 ranks, you know? And so that for me, like kind of kicked my butt into gear a little bit. And, you know, so January 2020, and some of you may have seen me share this, I chose for my 2020 year word was refresh. I needed a refresh on my business practices, being able to hold myself accountable, being consistent, and, you know, as well as like, I used, you know, had that word for personal reasons too, but, you know, I wanted to refresh my business. And so I made that recommitment to myself to be able to be consistent in my business, do my 3 asks, you know, start posting more regularly again. And, you know, like because 2019 was just not great. And, you know, I did that. And then come April, I had reached out to Brittany, one of my friends from high school, and she joined on with me. And she caught the vision pretty quick of how to share. And so that was exciting to be able to share that passion and that vision with her. And then, you know, a few months later, she brought on Chanel. And again, like Chanel caught that vision. And in all of that time, it didn't like that leg of my business grew, but also what grew was inside my heart and my confidence level, like Tiffany talked about, you know, growing that confidence, because I had been pretty deflated about, you know, like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? You know, like I can't hold rank. I can't do this, you know, and all that head trash was going through my head, and just, you know, like, why am I doing this? You know, but as I kept my head down and I kept working, and I, you know, and then I found like-minded people that were catching the vision with me. You know, it brought my confidence level up and helped me believe in myself more. And all of a sudden, like my personal enrollments, like all of a sudden started going up again, and they started being regular, and they started, you know, and so I think a lot of it too is just, you know, like Angie and Tiffany both talked about, is that mindset, you know, and having that confidence. And then I ended up re-ranking senior gold in June, I think. And then our team ranked Ruby in October, and then ranked senior Ruby in November. And at that point, like, seriously, like Emily said, I didn't think that I would re-rank senior gold. Like that was so far off in the distance for me, to be able to even re-rank senior gold. But now, like, emerald is on the horizon, and I can see it, and I can visualize it, and I can see like those skills that we've put into practice as we've been building our team. You know, like I can see the how and the where and the on how to get there. You know, I don't know, you know, how we're going to do it as far as people we might bring in, or who we're going to help, but I know that that skill set and that mindset that we have established and have created is going to help us get there. So yeah, I don't know, Emily, is there other things that you want me to talk about? Or
like the thing that so impressed me about this, you guys, is I think that there are many people on this call who are listening to this. Sorry, my phone is ringing. There are many people listening to this who have fallen back, or maybe they've never fallen back, but they just can't get past 100 points. And they're like, that's really great that, you know, that Tiffany went from 100 points to diamond in a couple of months. Like, that's so great for her. You know, don't you dare use the word lucky ever, or I will come through the screen and cut you. This is not a game of luck. This is a game of hard work. And luck is truly just when opportunity and preparation meet, and that creates success. So changing your mindset around that is huge, okay? But you might be saying like, oh, that's nice for her, or, oh, that's nice for Shae. But the truth of the matter is that I want you to think about how you show up for the next year determines where your points have the opportunity to go. And it's every day, just doing a little bit here, a little bit there. It's talking about the business with people that, like, I remember when Shae messaged me and she's like, yeah, my friend Brittany from high school, she is like very anti-business. Like, so don't, I've already explained it to her. Like, I've told her about the business. I've told her that, like, I've told her about it. Like, she's not interested. And I was like, that's okay. Just put her in a message. Let's get to know her. Right. And then by the end of the month, she was fast starting senior silver. And her perspective has totally changed. So a lot of times in our mind, we think in a very like finality way, right? Where we're like, oh, well, I have all the facts. I know what's possible, and I'm in control, and I know what I need to do, and I'm just not doing it. Or I know the type of sacrifice it's going to take, and I'm not willing to give that. Well, yeah, when you think about it in that way, it sounds really heavy and like nothing I would want to do either. But if you change the way that you look at it and maybe say like, I don't know all the answers. I don't know what I'm going to have to give to get. But what I do know is that there's something to this. And if Shae can go from 110 points in January of 2020 to 1,000 points of January 2021, then why not me? I loved how Tiffany said she sat there in Super Saturday and just thought, why not me? You know, whatever it is, whatever your dreams are, your goals are, whatever you want for your family, all of it is possible when you decide that you're going to change something, right? And so I hope that today what you've seen is you've listened to these three very different stories, that something inside of you will believe that there's something here that's worth pouring into, that's worth your time, that's worth the energy it takes to change as a person, that's worth showing up a little bit differently, including having the humility to realize that you don't know how to do it, and that's okay. Knowing the way is not required. In fact, it's better if you just go into it not knowing the way, because then you let go of all the expectations that oftentimes weigh us down, right? And so my hope and prayer for all of us is that we can just be really open arms to abundance, and in the way of, okay, I know this is what I want to do. I know that it's possible. I know that this can change everything for me. And I am just going to lean in, not knowing how or what, but I'm just going to trust the people who I've heard today, and trust that if they can do it, I can do it. And I don't have to have all the answers first. So I love you guys. Thanks for spending 53 minutes of your time here with us today. And your dreams are so worth it, and they are so much closer than you think they are. We'll see you right back here next week. Thank you everyone for sharing today. Bye.